Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the month of June. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. You're always the last sign, and I feel so bad, especially on a month like now where I was a little delayed in these videos, but it is going to be well worth the wait because if you are like me and you watch astrology videos, you know that June is the luckiest month of the year, and I'm super excited to see what comes up for you. Before we jump into the reading, there's a couple of things. For starters, you might hear a crow in the background. I don't know how well the speakers are going to pick up the background noise here, but there has been a crow that has been coming through for all of the signs. So in addition to the oracle card readings that I am going to do today, I'm also going to read from the Animal Spirit book by Stephen Farmer on what the message of the crow has to say, because just as I was filming, just as I was hitting record, this crow was going crazy. Yesterday, it left me a feather right before I began filming. The day before, it was hanging out on my back deck on the back railing, which is crazy because I have two Great Danes and birds don't usually go on my back deck because my dogs have free reign. They go in and out all the time and they like to suntan, especially after a long hike, and the weather's nice, so I've been doing a lot of hiking. And these birds never come to our back deck, but they have been making their presence known. So I truly feel that there's a message here from the crow spirit. And we'll get into that just after I bring out a little bit of Palo Santo. So I just want to remind you that you don't have to be here in the presence of the Palo Santo, the smoke, the smell, the smudge. That's not what raises our energy, but it's actually the spirit of the Palo Santo tree. So thank you, Sacred Palo Santo. Thank you for raising our energy in our physical body, our energy body, our aura, our environment. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's see what the message of that crow is, because even though I've repeated it many times for all of these different signs, I definitely feel the need to repeat it to you as well. So if you have not been seeing or hearing a crow, let me just show you this bad boy. You saw the crow feather just a moment ago, and let's see what the messages are. So if crow shows up for you, Pisces, it means that you are on the verge of manifesting something you've been working towards for a while. So again, June is the luckiest month of the year, so I'm here for it, and I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. The crow also says to be very watchful over the next couple of days for any clear omens or signs that will guide you and teach you. The crow says to expect a very big change very soon. Yes, please. I'm a life path number 5, so I'm always here for change. It also says that you've noticed something that's out of balance or an injustice that hasn't been addressed, and it's important for you to speak up about it. And finally, the crow says to us that you're about to get a glimpse into some future events that affect you directly. So let me know down below in the comments which of these messages from the crow spirit are resonating with you. Have you been seeing crows as well? And sometimes people get the difference between a crow and a raven mixed up. Well, from the animal spirit guide perspective, their messages are very, very similar, but the raven is the larger of the two birds. Can you guys hear that? I don't know if you can hear it or not, but that crow is like, hang on a second, I want to make my presence extra known right now. I can hear it out the door, through the house, and out onto the back deck. I can hear it over there. So wow, I don't know if you guys heard that. Okay, we're going to jump into some cards. I will start by reading from the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle. This is by Kelly Smith. This is my favorite deck. I call it my OG deck because I've had it the longest. I use it the most. I use that deck in all of my one-to-one readings. I use it in my 16-week program, Nourish Your Temple. I use it in my annual mastermind and my in-person retreats. If you are going to be hanging out with me for the extended reading, we'll dive into a couple more decks. But first, let's just see what is the primary energy for the Pisces collective in the month ahead, please. What is the primary energy for the Pisces collective in the month ahead? Okay, we're getting self-love. All right, it is time for you to focus within and remember that the love that you show yourself is the love that you are going to attract into your life. So if there are people in your life this month who are not showing you the kind of love that you believe that you deserve, and you do deserve it, you are worthy of it, this card is reminding you that we're all mirrors for one another. So the love that people give to you is based on the love that you give to yourself. So if you're like, oh, how come my mom doesn't treat me as well as she should? How come my partner doesn't treat me as well as he should? How come none of my family members are ever looking out for me? Well, are you really looking out for yourself? Do you make sure that you get enough sleep? Do you make sure that you get enough water? Do you make sure that you get enough fruits and vegetables? Do you make sure that you get enough protein and fiber? Do you make sure that you get enough time outside? Do you make sure that you get enough exercise, activity, reading, socialization, sunshine? Do you make sure that you don't get too much of the things that really are not that great for us? Do you limit your toxins and chemicals in your home and on your body and in your foods? Are you making sure that you don't get too much junk food? Are you making sure that you don't get too much screen time? You know, having time alone is great, but do you have too much time alone? Having socialization is great, but you get too much socialization, and so on and so forth. This says that you're learning that your capacity to be loved by others is directly related to your capacity to love yourself. So if you're calling in more love, this card is really calling for you to focus more on self-love, and it is card number 3. So I want to remind you that card number 3, or the number 3 in numerology, is all about balance, balancing your mind, balancing your body, balancing your soul. Maybe one aspect is getting all of your attention and the other 2 are getting ignored. Or maybe 2 aspects are getting all of your attention and the other one's being ignored. Pisces, I know that you like to be up in the ethers, and so do I, but at the cost of our mindset and our body sometimes, right? That's why it's so important for us to be grounded so that we can come back. And I know escapism can be a little bit of the shadow of the Pisces. And of course, this is going to depend on where you're reading for. You might be watching for your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, anywhere else in your chart. But regardless of where that falls for you, we're starting with a really strong energy of balance, balancing body, mind, and soul. Now, I'm going to pull some more cards for the month of June, but if you're joining me for the extended reading, I'm also going to pull a Goddess Power Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. We're going to see what Goddess Spirit wants to come out for you in the month ahead. And we'll also see what Archangel and Crystal you can work with this month from the Inspire, Change, and Healing. This one's by Cindy Smith. I got all the Smith ladies. I got Kelly Smith up in here. I got Cindy Smith up in here. Let's see if we can clarify this self-love card though, okay? Let's clarify the self-love card for the Pisces collective for the month ahead, please, Spirit. Oh, I got 2 here. I keep getting 2 cards for a lot of them. Okay. Self-love. Look at what we got here. We got Shooting Star. You're about to jump into your fullest potential. Beautiful. But we also got self-sabotage. Okay. So if you can work through this self-sabotage, you're going to come into alignment with the Shooting Star energy. And what's the key to that? Self-love. Self-love. So I ask you, Pisces, what's your current flavor of self-sabotage? It's different for all of us, right? You know, it could just be procrastination or avoidance or perfectionism paralysis, right? Like you don't want to do it unless you're going to do it perfect. Or maybe you need to research the ever-living crap out of it before you take any action because you think you need to know everything about it before you can actually do it, which is not true. It's not true at all. We don't need to know the how. We need to create action, and then the how becomes available to us. The how becomes clear to us. The how becomes illuminated for us. Maybe your current flavor of self-sabotage is numbing out. This is really common. Again, escapism, right? So maybe you're numbing out by too little socialization, by going within. Maybe you're numbing out with food. Maybe you're numbing out by binge eating. Maybe you're numbing out on the other extreme by not eating enough. Maybe you're numbing out by doom scrolling. You know, you close the app and 2 seconds later you pick it up again. So what is your current flavor of self-sabotage? Because this says you may be creating pain for yourself by standing in your own way. But I want to remind you that right along with that, you got Shooting Star. Look at that, another 3. Balance that mind, that body, that soul connection, and you're going to step into your fullest potential. But you have to find that balance in order to do that. I mean, these cards look like they're married together. That's what that feels like to me. Like self-love, Shooting Star, self-sabotage, like these cards to me feel like they're married together. And at first I was questioning, I'm like, do I grab both of them? There's 2 here. Do I really need both of them? Do I really need both of them? Yes, I do. And I'm glad that I did, because that's painting a very auspicious story for you for the month ahead. And I know I've got some Pisces in my life. I've got some very close Pisces. I have more Pisces in my life than I have other signs, okay? So whenever I read for Pisces, I'm always like, oh God, don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm thinking of all the different Pisces in my life, and I'm thinking about how it's going to affect this person, and how it's going to affect that person, and how it's going to affect that person. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, don't shoot the messenger. These are just the cards, and I'm just going to read them, and I'm going to read them authentically. I'm going to read them from my heart, and I'm going to read them how I receive them. And you're either going to pick it up if you resonate with it, or you're going to leave it if you don't. And either way, I hope that you receive the messages that you're meant to. I know that you'll receive the messages that you're meant to from these cards. Let's see what is going to be the biggest challenge for the Pisces collective in the month ahead. I mean, if the self-sabotage and loving yourself isn't a big enough challenge for you, let's see what is going to be the biggest challenge for the Pisces collective in the month ahead, please. Why do I keep getting two? I keep getting two. Okay, there's some sort of power struggle here. Someone that you're just not quite getting along with. You can't see eye to eye. You can't agree on whatever it is that's coming up for you. And I do feel for a lot of you, this could be in romance. This could be a romantic partner. There's some sort of power struggle. And what this is saying is to show up as your best, okay? This isn't about winning. This isn't about being right. This is about the greater good of all, okay? The greater good of all. If you show up in integrity with the intention of doing what is for the greater good of all with harm to none, then you don't have to worry about anything else to do with the outcome, right? It may or may not go exactly how you want it to go when you're in a power struggle with someone else, but you're not being called for anything else here but to show up as your best in integrity. Speak from the heart, not to be right, not to win, but for the greater good of all. And okay, you got card number 3, card number 30, card number 50, and then 41. 4 plus 1 is 5. You've got all sorts of 5s and 3s, so there's big change happening for you this month. But you've got to find balance. You've got to find balance, mind, body, and soul. So when it comes to balance of the mind, I mean, are you watching the news, watching TikTok, all over YouTube? Are you watching people who actually make you feel better or make you feel worse? Are they, filling you full of love or full of fear? Is there fear mongering happening? I feel like some of you are doom scrolling. Maybe that's in that self-sabotage there. So when you're doom scrolling, are you listening or watching things that are raising your vibration, or are you watching or listening to things that are lowering your vibration? Because that's how we can balance our mind, listening and watching and reading things that are uplifting and positive, and that really help us to be mindful of our own thoughts. And then when it comes to balancing our body, again, are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough water? Are you getting enough fruits, vegetables, protein, fiber? Those are all super duper important. Are you getting too much junk food? Are you getting too much, I feel like some of you are eating dairy and it's not agreeing with you. Like I just got like this big, bloated belly feeling, my stomach was off. Maybe some of you are a little lactose intolerant, but you're ignoring it and you're eating the dairy anyway. Balancing your body is also movement. Are you getting enough movement? Are you getting too much movement? Sometimes that happens too. Sometimes we get so laser focused and we're like, I'm going to work out every day. And then we're getting too much exercise and we go into adrenal fatigue. Balancing our body is, making sure that we're mindful of what we're putting on our skin. Are you putting poison and toxins and chemicals on your skin? Probably, because most products for our skin are poison and toxic and chemicals. Even our clothing, if we're not conscious of wearing, linen and wool and bamboo and cotton, well, everything else is chemicals, right? There is a power struggle here, and you're being called to balance your mind, your body, and your soul, and that's going to help you with that. How do you balance your soul? Well, again, I mentioned this, going within, meditation, journaling, contemplation, but not too much. Again, the key word is balance. The key word is balance. We're here in the 3D world, so we've got to live here in the 3D world, but making time to go within, journal, meditate, journey, get in a salt bath, a pink Himalayan salt bath, not with your phone. Don't touch your phone. Don't bring your phone in there. And then the second card that came through with this was time to lighten up. You might be taking life a little bit too seriously right now. And you feel that. I know you feel that. I can tell that you feel that. And in fact, I might be triggering you with some of my messages. If I'm triggering you with my messages, that's a true, like, telltale sign that you're taking life too seriously, okay? That's a telltale sign. If you're feeling triggered, you're like, God damn you, Jenny. And your messages, ooh, I just got big goosebumps. Some of you are going to be triggered. Your triggers are your teachers, and I'm happy. I will graciously accept the role of being the one to trigger you if it means that I am going to be the catalyst to positive change in your life, helping you to align with your highest path, your highest purpose, your highest timeline, your highest destiny. Why? Because I know that the highest version of you is balanced mind, body, and soul. The highest version of me is balanced mind, body, and soul. I'm not always in alignment with my highest self, but I do my best to try as much and as often as I can. So if those are your biggest struggles, taking life too seriously in this power struggle, obviously with time to lighten up, just find some more time for joy and laughter and play. Laughter being the key. Laughter is the best medicine. So I feel like for some of you, you could go to a park with children. That can be really helpful. I feel like for some of you, going to a comedy show, watching a funny movie. I just get the word play. Play. Like go swing on a swing. And then I hadn't even asked the question, but this is the card that wants to come out. I hadn't even asked the question, but what I was going to ask is, how do you work through this challenge in the month ahead? And I'm getting universal flow. So I really feel go to the water. So again, I'm going to bring up those pink Himalayan salt baths. It's time for you to slow down, breathe, and take time to smell the roses. This isn't about meditating, okay? This isn't about journeying. This is about slowing down and being present. Being present, not thinking about what you have to do later, not thinking about what's already happened, but being present in the moment. Stop, slow down, take time to smell the roses. Go in a bath with no phone. Go down to the water if you've got a lake or a creek or a river or an ocean near you. Go down to the water and just be present. Again, put the phone down. I know that's so hard for so many of us right now, is we're so addicted to our phones. They're little portals. They suck us in, and then before you know it, oh my gosh, I've been on the phone for 2 hours. How did that even happen? I have shit to do, and I just wasted 2 hours on the phone. Look at that. Inti Tai Tai, the sun just came out. Hello, grandfather's sun. There was a big cloud earlier, and all of a sudden it shifted, and now we've got the sun coming out. Well, with that beautiful sun, before we get into the extended reading, where I will pull a Goddess Oracle and a crystal and Archangel message, I'd like to pull one more card to clarify this overall reading for you. If you're resonating so far, even if it's triggering the ever-living crap out of you, Pisces, I would appreciate it if you hit that like button. You guys know how the algorithm works. The more people who like this video, the more people who will see it. The more people who see it, the more likely I am to show up for the next one. When I look at this and I've only got 10 or 12 views on it, I'm like, do I really want to do a whole nother video? That's a whole multiple days to film for a dozen people to watch. No, like that video, comment on this video, more people will see it, and then I'm going to be way more likely to continue making these videos if they're helping you. I would appreciate that. And if you're new here and you are picking up what I'm putting down, if you are enjoying my energy, I would appreciate if you would consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help support me, and it does make me want to come back here and make more of these videos. I think we're almost at 500 views or 500 subscribers now, so thank each and every one of you who are here. And for those of you who are in the Sacred Self-Empowered Community membership, thank you for being here. We will dive into the extended reading here soon, and I can't wait to be with you on our Zoom meetings. When you get the extended reading, you join the Sacred Self-Empowered Community membership, and we meet twice a month on Zoom every month at minimum. There's a bunch of other benefits as well, but the Zoom meetings are my favorite part. So let's clarify this for you, Pisces. Let's see what is the final message for the month ahead for the Pisces collective to help them align with their highest path, their highest purpose, their highest destiny, their highest timeline for the month ahead, please. Oof. That one's like me. Environment. Okay, so I want to remind you, Pisces, your external environment is a direct reflection of your inner world. So if your external environment feels chaotic, thick, heavy, then there's chaos, thickness, heaviness in here. So this is a good time for you to clean, declutter, purge. It's a great time for you to smudge. If you're not familiar with smudging, you can smudge in a number of different ways. Of course, we can use some of the traditional herbs, sage, lavender, cedar, juniper, things like that. We can use Palo Santo to raise the energy. We can use Agua de Florida. I prefer to get the one from the Peru factory. We can use bells. Bells help to cleanse the energy. There's lots of different ways that we can cleanse the energy of our environment, but I really want to remind you that hucha, dark, dense, heavy energy, it likes to hide. It likes to hide in clutter. It likes to hide in cupboards and corners and under furniture and behind furniture and places that don't get cleaned very often. So make sure that you're watching those places in particular. When the environment card comes up, this is like the card of spring cleaning, but not just what you can physically see, but also energetically. Again, what's happening in your environment is a direct reflection of what's going on in your inner world. So as you do, as you always do, go within, because you go within quite a bit, dear Pisces. Don't forget that what's going on the inside is being mirrored out. As above, so below, as within, so without. I am very much looking forward to diving in a little bit deeper on the extended reading, so I do hope you will join me over there, Pisces, and I will see you on the next one.